Greetings of peace. You are now tuned into the channel 13signsastrology.com. My name is Imhotep. I'm doing this video on a particular inquiry that I got. A person left a comment on one of my videos, actually today, and it normally takes me a little time to respond, but this particular comment, I decided to go ahead and respond pretty quickly because it wasn't really the comment, because the comment wasn't offensive or anything like that. It's just that the topic that the person was speaking on was something that I felt like I needed to address to a larger group of people, so I went ahead and decided to do a video on it. And basically the person was talking about being a vegan and a vegetarian, and they were talking about how, what if a person can't afford to eat certified organic foods, and what if a person can't afford to eat this vegetarian lifestyle and to afford to put the best things into their body? Are they going to be condemned, and are they going to make it? They use the term make it. And are they going to be condemned or whatever? And they said that if they are going to be condemned, this isn't dealing with unconditional love. Now, this is what I want to say first. If you don't want to do something, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. When you make excuses about things, you basically are making yourself into a failure. And you're not making yourself into a failure for me. You're making yourself into a failure for you. And this goes for anything, not just vegetarianism. So when you make excuses about stuff, basically you're just pretty much calling yourself a failure. So if say for instance, if you told somebody you were going to be at a particular place at a certain time and you don't make it there on that time, if you make an excuse about it, basically you are just calling yourself a failure. You should have just said, I just didn't make it. I just didn't make it. You don't have to make excuses about things, because usually when people make excuses about things, they're looking for a way out because they didn't want to do it anyway. That's usually, like, when people make excuses about things. You shouldn't make excuses, because for one thing, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. So that's one thing I wanted to point out. The second thing I want to point out is that this is not a religion. Eating healthy and doing this stuff, this is not a religion, y'all. This is not a religion. It's a way of life. And if you fail to eat healthy, you're not going to be condemned anywhere. You just fail to eat healthy, get up the next day and try to eat healthy again. But don't make excuses and say that I can't eat this way because it costs this much money, or I can't do this because of that, because we all know that we are thinking beings and we're creative beings more so than anything, and we can create and use our creativity to do anything that we want to do. Anything that we want to do. So if we don't want to do things, just say I don't want to do them, but don't make excuses for them. Don't make excuses for them. So I definitely want to point that out. Now in this video, what I'm going to do is, I made a lot of videos about teaching people how to eat healthy. Well, I didn't make a lot of videos, but I do have one other video that talks about how to be able to eat healthy and afford to eat healthy on a budget. And in this video, I want to kind of help people that might be struggling with eating totally organic foods. They might be struggling with eating strictly vegetarian or vegan, and they might slip up and they might fall short. And I want to show you a way. This is free right here. This is free. Just let you know that right now. So don't make an excuse about this one. I talked about organic foods. People say that costs too much money. I talk about crystals and things like that people say they can't afford those things. I talk about getting consultations. I have a healthy a detox coaching program located on my website, whereas in this coaching program, I show you how to prepare your own supplements and how to prepare your own, and how to eat a certain kind of way to cleanse and detox your body. So, and it's very affordable. It's a week program, and basically I walk you through how to do certain things or whatever within this program and within this course. So I already basically put out information helping people to be able to, that don't have a lot of money and still basically be able to afford to eat a certain kind of way. Now in this particular video, I'm going to offer you a free way. This is absolutely free. This is absolutely free. This is on 13signsastrology.com. But it's free. It doesn't cost us any money. It just costs me time to present this information to you, and this is what I do anyway. So this is what you need to do for people that may like eating meats, for people that may like consuming dairy from time to time, for people that might still like to consume a little bit of marijuana here and there, for people that may like to drink a little bit of wine or champagne or what have you here and there. Now, before I say this, just know that I'm not telling you to go out and do these things. I'm not telling you to go out and consume all the things that I just said, but this is for the person that is struggling to maybe always eat like that, eat like certified organic foods, and to eat strictly alkaline foods, this will help you in your course to getting there. This will help you in your course to getting there, because there's something that you can do to offset a lot of the side effects that come from eating and doing those things. Now, this is what you want to do. There's something called breatharian or breatharianism. And basically, what a breatharian is technically is one who does not consume any food, because food is energy. Food is energy, and it takes energy to digest. It takes more energy to digest meat and acidic foods than it does alkaline foods. So food is energy. So for the person that basically doesn't like to consume food or whatever, they want to just breathe and get energy that way, these are called breatharians. And what breatharians do is they use their breath to take in energy, or to take in chi, and they live off of their breath. And there's people on this planet that live like this. Now, I haven't seen too many people in America. I've never seen anybody in America actually that is doing this. So I'm not saying that there's a lot of people out here doing this, but I know for sure there's some people in Tibet doing it, and there's some people in South America that are doing it right now. And basically, the reason I'm bringing up breatharianism is because I'm not telling you to be a breatharian, because I know that's going to be very difficult for most of us, because it's polluted here in the States, it's probably polluted in Europe, and polluted in many countries now, because we're driving these vehicles and burning this oil that's burning up the atmosphere. So we're polluted, plus the chemtrails and everything else. So it's polluted. But it's a way that you can become a healthy person without necessarily always eating organic foods and always eating vegetables, and you may can still sometime, consume meat and other things, as long as it's done in moderation. Like, I mean, I'm talking about, like, it takes, on average, sometimes it takes more, but on the average it takes meat, just so you guys know this, like beef and stuff like that, it takes like 2 to 3 days to digest this stuff. So if you're going to consume these things, at least allow your body to digest it all the way, and then take a break in between digestions. So what I'm saying is this: if you're going to consume meat, try to do it once a week. I don't care what meat it is. Fish only takes about 24 hours, I believe, to digest. So you can consume fish maybe twice a week if you're a fish eater. And in the course of that, what I want you to do is to practice breatharianism. And basically, when you practice breatharianism, what you're going to do is that you are going to, every day, especially for people that's consuming meat, you have to do this, and drugs and different things like that. Marijuana is not really a drug, but you know what I mean, because you're still smoking it, so you know what I'm saying, it's still not necessarily 100% healthy for you. And then alcohol, all of that. For people that are doing that, you need to breathe every single night. You need to breathe every single night. And basically what you want to do is that you want to breathe in for a few seconds, hold your breath, and release. And you want to do that for about 15 to 20 minutes every day. Now, this is the beginning of practicing breatharianism, the art and science of breathing. Now, when you breathe and when you do that, you're taking in so much energy and so much chi and so much life force, you're going to break down all of those things that aren't good for you a lot faster than you would if you weren't breathing correctly. So even just being a good breather, you can offset. And now what you want to do is really, ideally, is you want to learn how to breathe rhythmatically all the time. I don't care if you're walking, I don't care if you're just chilling watching television, you want to learn how to breathe on a rhythm. And basically breathing on a rhythm is you want to learn how to take in energy, store it, and then release it. This is the beginning of breatharianism. There's other steps to it, of course, but this is the beginning. So you want to learn how to regulate your breath. And when you do that, you're breaking down all the acidic, processed foods and starches and sugars and all of that. You're going to accelerate the digestion by doing that. And it's going to help you. The more you do it, the more healthier you'll be, even if you are doing those things. Now, you might not see some of the benefits that people that like us that are vegetarians and vegans will see, but you'll begin to see more benefits than what you were seeing before, prior to. So this is for all those people that say they can afford to do certain things and all of this. Now you have a free way. And this is a guaranteed way. It's called breatharianism, and it works. And I know many of you have heard about it, but And the exercise that I just showed you, you continue that. Like, I just did it once, but you want to continue doing that. You want to start off like that. And there's other exercises that you can do and other breathing techniques that you can do, but you want to start off with that. And when you do that, you're taking in chi, you're taking in life force. And when you breathe that way, make sure you're breathing through your diaphragm. And you're circling. See, what happens is the energy is cycling. It's cycling through your body. So when you release it, you're releasing all that negative energy stored up in you. All that negative energy stored up in you. So you could regulate your diet this way. You can regulate your diet this way. And it's a great, effective way, free, to take in positive energy. And what you want to do is, don't forget, you want to start breathing like this all the time. Become a good breather. Because when you become a good breather, and drink a lot of water too, which is free. If you can't afford alkaline water, drink waters with lemons and limes in it. Drink waters with lemons and limes in it. And I know a lot of people say lemons are acidic, and that's not alkaline, but it's not the same type of acid that I'm talking about. People say, well, lemons are acidic. No, it's not acidic, according to, as far as alkaline, and it's acidic as far as the acid in it is like a citrus acid, but it's not acidic in the sense that it's detrimental to your body. It's not acidic in that way, like the way dairy and everything is. So you can put lemons in your water. You can put lemons in your water and limes in your water. You want to put lemons and limes in your water if you can't afford to drink alkaline water. This will help you. Even if you're consuming meat, this will help you to offset a lot of stuff. And you want to basically limit your intake of processed sugars. You want to limit that as much as possible. If you're going to consume the meat, that's one thing. Like I said, I'm not condoning anything, and I'm not telling you what to do or what not to do. I'm just offering information. So I want to keep stressing that. I'm taking the middle course here. So you don't have to necessarily stop consuming meat, but you want to definitely start off with the processed sugars. Like, if it was anything I would tell a person to cut out their diet first, I would say processed sugars. Processed sugar is like one of the number one addictive things here in the West, and just here in the Western world in general. It's the number one addictive drug. They consider it a drug. Food and Drug Administration, yes, it's considered a drug, because all foods are considered drugs. And processed sugars is a drug, and it's one of the number one addictive drugs here in America. It's more addictive than cocaine. See, people want to talk about cocaine and marijuana, but what about you guys that say, I don't do that, now that's a drug? But what about you guys that are taking in processed sugars? What about you guys that are doing that? That's worse, actually, on your health than cocaine and marijuana put together. And I'm not condoning doing those things either, but I'm just pointing out something. And what I'm basically pointing out is that people don't realize how detrimental some things that are acceptable here in society really are. Because some of the things that aren't illegal and acceptable are some of the worst things that you can consume. And some of the things that are illegal and banned in this country are some of the best things that you can consume. There's way more spiritual benefits from intaking marijuana than there is from processed sugars. There's no spiritual benefits from processed sugars, but you do get spiritual benefits from partaking in marijuana. You do, and I can't deny that. So, I know I made a video on the good weed and things like that, and there is negative effects to it too. So I'm not saying it's all good, but there's way more positive effects than processed sugars. There's nothing good about that. The way that it's consumed, the way that it's concocted and everything is just totally not kosher. It's not right. So it's totally synthetic. So what you want to do is you want to definitely become a good breather, and when you do that, you have to know you're taking in energy. So you're not going to have to eat as much. You're not going to take as much energy away from you in digestion, because that's why people get tired when they eat foods that aren't good for them. Food really shouldn't make you tired like that. You really should eat early too. That's another thing. You should eat before 5 o'clock, your biggest meal. If you're partaking in foods after 5, it should be light snacks or light fruits, light vegetables, very light. But your heaviest meal should be taken in before 5 o'clock. Give your body time to digest. And basically, the foods that we eat or whatever aren't really necessarily bad for us. A lot of them aren't, if we learn how to eat them in a certain rhythm, in a certain method, in a certain way. We have to have balance in doing things. A lot of times people just eat stuff or whatever. Like, say for instance, meat. Back in the days, people ate meat. Yeah, it was definitely part of our genetics or whatever, but they only ate meat. A lot of people don't know this. And when I say they, I'm talking about the tribal, our tribal ancestors or whatever, and the indigenous ancestors. They only ate meat at celebrations, a lot of them. They didn't eat meat every day. Why? Because they couldn't go to a supermarket and buy meat the way most of us do now. Well, not us, because I don't eat meat, but the way most people do now. They go to a supermarket and they consume and eat meat like every day, like 3 times a day. And it's like, you're just doing this because it's readily available. But what if you had to go out here and kill your animals and clean it and do all of that? You're not going to have time to eat meat every day if you got to do all that. So when they killed the animal and consumed the animal, it was done as a celebration. It was a celebration. So they only ate meat maybe once a month, maybe sometime even once every 2 months, because it wasn't readily available, and vegetables were just easier to get. They were just easier to get. So, I mean, and then they didn't even eat their meat the same or whatever, the way most people eat their meat, because a real meat eater is going to really eat the whole animal, the head all the way down. Look at a meat eater in nature. The meat eaters in nature eat the whole animal. They eat the whole animal. Snakes, they eat rats. The snakes that eat rats, they eat the whole rat. They swallow that whole damn thing. So if you're really a meat eater, that's how you would consume it and take it. But this is, like I said, not beating up on meat eaters. If you really want to see some benefits in your health, embrace breatharianism. And embrace that and begin to breathe and become a good breather. Focus on that. It's free. Cost you nothing. Become a good breather and you will see the benefits from it. And it will help you break yourself from a lot of your addictive behaviors and habits. When you become a good breather. Before you just decide to go take in that cigarette, breathe for a minute. Take about 20 minutes to breathe before every cigarette. And increase the time. And you'll notice yourself weaning yourself off of cigarettes. So I hope this helps as far as more affordable ways to eat healthy. And until we meet again, my friend, I'm going to leave you in peace and in prosperity.